How to give him space so that he misses you and comes back. You want to know what to do when your guy wants space. That dreaded, horrible conversation where you thought everything was going well, but in the pit of your stomach, you knew everything was slowly falling apart. I need space, he tells you. So maybe the guy that you want, the guy that you're dating, hasn't been responding to text messages anymore, or hanging up the phone just a little bit sooner. Maybe it feels like something has shifted in the relationship, and he's just not as present, as emotionally open, as raw, as honest. Maybe he's straight up ghosting you and it's freaking you out. Or maybe he's been outright upfront with you and actually told you, I need space. I really need space, and I need you to respect that. This is a terrifying moment in any relationship, one that could have you feeling terrified, anxious, like you don't know what to do, like you could lose him at any moment, at any second, and that's the last thing you want, to lose the man you love, who you've poured so much of your heart into, who you've sacrificed so much for, who you want in your life so badly. Why is everything being ripped away? Why? You don't want to lose him, so what should you actually do? What's the right move here? Because you don't want to make a mistake. I'm going to tell you, so don't worry, there is a clear answer. This video is going to actually cover just that, why he needs space and exactly what to do. So if you're ready to learn how to give a guy space the right way, then write "I'm ready" right now in the comments down below while the intro plays. Real quick, guys, if you like anything about this video, what I'm wearing, if you want your guy to come back and just want to help me out because it does help the channel grow, then do give this video a like, a thumbs up. And of course, if you like what I'm wearing, I always say that, but if you do, even though I'm just wearing a black top, you might as well give it a like as well. In all seriousness, let's talk about why a guy wants space and what's going on. Honestly, it's natural for guys to want space. Space is part of the process of love, and absence does make the heart grow fonder. It's a saying for a reason. Part of falling in love is being away from your partner. Being good at giving space is honestly an essential part of any good relationship. So look at it as an opportunity, not a challenge, for him to appreciate you more and reach for more of you. The real problem is not the guy wanting space or giving your guy space. It's natural for a guy to want space for himself, especially if he's going through something emotional, because guys don't process their emotions with women, they process them in private. Most men, 99.9, would prefer to work things out on their own and come back strong and solid rather than endlessly discussing emotions. So you might misinterpret him needing that space for emotional processing as him not wanting to be around you, which is actually not the right way to look at it. It's easy to give a guy space unless you're worried that it's somehow going to hurt your relationship or that it will lead to something bad happening. So the real problem isn't giving him space, but the worrying itself. Now, I know you might say, well, I think something bad's going to happen if I give him space. How can I not worry? Let me explain so I can illustrate why this worrying will only hurt you. What do you do when a man's pulling away and needs space? This shows you what will hurt you. So this is what not to do. Because when you do these things, you push him away, and I'm going to tell you what to avoid pushing him away for good, which will turn a short break into a relationship ending nightmare. Don't go chasing after him. Don't text a lot. Don't call a lot. Don't message on social media. Don't complain. Don't stalk his friends. Don't look to him for validation or reassurance that things are okay, because he won't even tell you the truth. Just let him take the space he needs without you reaching out to him and reinserting yourself in his life. I have something very important to tell you, that if you want to make sure you're doing this right and know how to give a guy space, I invite you to join my private insider group if you want to bring the distant man back and reel him back in. It's VixenInsider.com. I can give you direct feedback and make sure you don't do something wrong that'll turn the short break and him withdrawing into him leaving forever. It's very, very important that you act correctly right now out of all times. It's a crucial moment in your relationship. Don't let fear of losing the guy end up destroying your entire relationship, because it can. When you started seeing him, you weren't worried he's gonna leave you. You didn't worry that you were gonna lose something that you thought you had. You now think you have something which you can lose. And this mindset will sabotage your relationship 100% of the time. What happens is the more you think about what's happening, the worse you feel. And the more you want those negative feelings to be resolved. So you act differently, because instead of your own enjoyment being your guide, your negative emotions are now driving the ship. Your fear of losing him makes you want to control him, because you're afraid if you don't, you might lose him. And when people feel someone is trying to control them, they instinctively pull away. And similarly, if your thoughts are dominated by fears of losing the guy, your mood won't be fun to be around. Instead of the good mood being light and fun like it was in the beginning, carefree, it's paranoid, suspicious, and gloomy. And when the mood feels like that, people don't want to be around it. Plain and simple, people don't want to feel like they're being controlled, and they don't want to be around someone who's in a horrible, bad mood. That's not just a guy thing, that's a human thing. Keep in mind, if you feel like he's pulling away, or you're worried you're losing him for good, and you have specific questions on how to fix things, you can join my private insider group, VixenInsider.com, and ask me anything there. Space is limited, but if there is still space available, you can join me at VixenInsider.com. So what do you do to keep him by your side? Do you wave a magic wand and hope he stays? I just want to say, it's normal for a guy to need space. Understand this first. It's completely normal. And like I said before, trying to control him or trying to force him to want to stay with you, horrible plan. It'll drive him further away 100% of the time. It's a guarantee. A lot of guys want space because they don't feel in control of themselves emotionally. They want to figure out what to do with the relationship or get a breather, perhaps. Most guys need time and space to start sorting out their emotions on their own, and in order to feel closer and more connected with a woman. That's why clinging on backfires. Trying to pull him closer backfires. And what giving him space will do is the opposite. It'll make him miss you. It'll make him way more likely to come back. Since giving a guy space is part of his process for falling in love and staying in love with you, you don't want to interrupt that process. The big secret to giving someone space is being happy about giving him space, and notice and realize that it's a good thing for your relationship. I want to point out that this is one of those huge game-changing perspectives that'll change your entire love life, and when you understand this, everything will be easy. So I just want to point this out, whether it's the first video you've watched or the 100th, that this is one of the big game-changing perspectives that makes your love life go from horrible and confusing to clear and straightforward and easy to figure out. When you understand that a guy needing space is part of his process to process emotions and exist, it's easier to accept it and embrace it. You don't take it personally. He doesn't want space to get away from you. He wants it to have his process. Sometimes in pop culture, you hear men don't want to be controlled or committed. Men don't want to lose their freedom, as if they want to get with 100 women constantly. This popular misconception is actually false. What men want is space. They don't want to lose being able to have uninterrupted space in their life when they need it. Men need space. Sometimes it's good for them and for your relationship. It's very important to show you understand this and you're okay with him taking space when he needs it. Space is when men feel that freedom that they supposedly need. If he's looking for space, let him have it. You don't know the reason he wants space, and that's perfectly okay. You can use it as a lesson in practicing how to be okay with not knowing exactly what's going on in his mind at this very moment. Like I said before, men want space to sort out their feelings, and then when they're ready, will reemerge and be happier and reconnect with you. It's best to consider it a sacred, private process for men, and it's important to a man that their partner knows the importance of giving space when they need it. If he needs a day, give him a day. If he needs a week, give him a week. What should you do in the meantime though? Use it as an opportunity to bring your mood up, do things you love doing, connect with your friends and loved ones. Do anything and everything you can to feel great, appreciative for the good things in your life, and just feel happy. It's actually even more important than just giving the guy space for 2 reasons. Number 1, if you're doing things to enjoy yourself and improve your mood, what are you not doing? You're not worrying. You're not feeding into the fears. You'll be in a good mood, and when he does reemerge from his space, it'll likely lead things in a better direction because your mood is a love magnet in your relationship. And if you want help with this, by the way, and you feel your man is pulling away, I invite you to get direct help from me in VixenInsider.com. It's where I give you direct help. Your moods will pull things in a good direction, and your bad moods will pull them in a bad direction. In other words, if you've ever needed more of a reason to be in your good mood, do it for the sake of your relationship. Now, just to be clear, I'm not saying you always have to be in a good mood. All I'm saying is that mood matters. Mood has an impact on your relationship. So in general, you want your mood to be as good as possible in your everyday life, and it will trickle down to your relationship. It's okay to have the occasional bad day or bad week. If you've put in the time and effort to be in a good mood and have that rapport established, he will not even blink and totally understand and even be there for you. My point is that if you can't make yourself happy, you can't expect a guy to. So now is really the most simple and straightforward time to bring your mood up for the sake of your relationship. And make happiness your new normal as your everyday way of living. Gratitude as a regular habit is the easiest way to automatically be in a good mood. Just appreciate what you're grateful for and look at life through a positive lens, even in the privacy of your own mind, which is what's most important. One key thing to understand about relationships is that relationships don't make you happy. They reflect your happiness back to you. A lot of women make the mistake of thinking their relationship will make them happy, but the truth is relationships are not there to extract happiness from. You bring happiness into them and it reflects it back to you. Men ironically need space to be in a good mood so they can be happy too. Everyone has their process, and relationships work best when both parties understand how to be in a good mood, so him being in one is important. For a guy, he can't feel like he's in a good mood unless he feels like his life is moving in a good direction, the right direction he wants to go on. If he feels it's not, it's very common for him to want space to figure things out. It's nothing personal. In order to find stable footing again, that's all he wants. Same goes for him being stressed or not in a good mood or emotional about something. He wants space for himself to work out his emotions so that he can re-emerge in a good mood when he's at his best. Again, giving him space is good for you and the relationship, and for him, it's a win-win. If there's a problem in the relationship that needs to be worked out, so be it. You'll give him space and see what happens from there. Often when you give him space, there will not be a problem. The problem that you thought was a problem will just go away because he worked it out. Or he comes back, brings up the problem, and you're in a good, receptive, calm state, and you can discuss it calmly. No emotional, irrational conversations because you're both breathing and you're having space. Either way, your best bet is to give him space and work on being your happiest self. Again, if you feel like he's pulling away or you're having trouble getting him to love you, to devote himself to you, to be fully in it with you the way you want, the way you're in it with him, and want help from me directly to help you get him to pour his heart to you and devote his entire mind and spirit to you in that romantic sense, if you want the help to really be sure of how he feels, then do join VixenInsider.com where you can speak with me directly and I can give you coaching. That's VixenInsider.com if there's still space available. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you can get more videos like this and have the love life you want, and comment with your thoughts on anything I described, and I will see you next time.